So, last time we did a MCU Phase 4 kind of tier list update. The video before that was a Multiverses review. So I figured we combine the both of them and do a Multiverses character review, alright? This is right now in the beta. There's probably going to be more characters later. There's definitely going to be more characters later. But as the game has launched in its beta version, how do the characters rank? And I kind of talked about this in my review, but I only had a couple of hours of playtime, and I wasn't good, and I'm not good now, but I couldn't even put chain a combo together. I had no clue what I was doing. Right now, I've played against a lot more characters, and I've played as a lot more characters. So I'm gonna go through and give you my opinion on pretty much all of the characters. There's still gonna be some that I don't really have an opinion on. I'm gonna have to make another bracket just for that. Let me go ahead and do that now. Add row below, and we'll call this let's do NA. All right, so we get this off my screen. What, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 characters. Let's do some fun ones. So everyone before this game officially came out and was available to everybody, everyone said the Iron Giant was dog shit. Right, that's all I heard about the game, that he was so bad. Right, and he's not great, but he's definitely not bad. Right, so I'd pretty much put him here for the most part. But because of two things, one, a lot of people with these types of games just abuse the meta, right? They find the one good broken ass move, and especially with, I mean, social media isn't a new thing, but you can go look up the meta for any character so quickly and so easily and find the one combo that you're going to win every single engagement 100% of the time with. And that seems to be what people do, especially with the Iron Giant. Just all of these unblockable attacks that you essentially just get stuck in a combo. That combined with his map advantage on the Batcave. So let me talk about the Batcave. The Batcave, and I want to say it's the Steven Universe map without the platforms on it. The two just flat maps. Right? Wonder Woman's map is flat because it has that gap in the middle, so that doesn't really count. And then the Scooby-Doo map, the Haunted Mansion, the floor comes up and down and the walls can come out, so that doesn't count. But the two completely flat maps, the Iron Giant's broken on because he's so damn tall. If you're playing anybody other than, like, Superman, maybe like Jake, you really can't get over him, right? He's so tall. You know, typically when you're stuck in some kind of engagement, if you can't dodge, you can try to jump over the person. It's not an option because he's so tall, and there's not enough platforms and height and, you know, vertical difference in the map to be able to get over the guy. So for that reason, he's definitely staying here. He might move up here depending on how the list goes out. All right. So I feel like that's one of my more controversial ones. Let's do Taz. Right. So I've played against him once, and the one guy I played against him as, I'd put him up here. But because I haven't seen him that much, I'm going to go ahead and just put him in balanced, right? If he was super broken, obviously more people would be picking him. If he was really bad, then the guy who picked him wouldn't have done so good with him. So I'm just going to put him here. Now, obviously, there's exceptions for all of these. Like, there's people who are just insane. But this is just for the average player, all right? Let's do Velma. So kind of the same thing with Taz, right? I've played, I want to say, against 3 Velmas, and all of them were absolutely insane. So I'm going to put her at the best. Like, if I had to choose which one of these 3 to go up against, I definitely not want to go up against Velma. Like, she just spits whatever her words are at you from a range, and I mean, probably one of the better people I've gone up against, right? Let's put a low tier one. Let's do Rain Dog. So Rain Dog can be good, and I'm sure as the game is out longer and people find good combinations with support and tank characters and all of that stuff, you know, Rain Dog will get good. But for now, I've never seen someone play as Rain Dog other than, I believe, once, and we absolutely smacked him. So that's where he's gonna go, down here in trash for now. Let's move some other people around. I kind of feel the same way about Steven Universe, right? Because he's also a support character. And I want to put him here, right? because he's a support character, but he's significantly better than Rain Dog. Like, he can at least hold his own, so I'm gonna put him here. Right? Just for that reason that he has a lot of the weaknesses that Rain Dog has, but I fought him and he's at least hit me. I don't think I've been hit by a Rain Dog. Alright. Let's move some fun ones around. Give me let's do Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman's one of the characters that I play. And originally I would have put her up here. But then I went and played another character, which we'll get to in a minute. And so I'm going to move her down here. Right? She's pretty balanced overall. She uses, horizontal movement instead of vertical movement to get people out. And the only map she feels kind of broken on is the Scooby-Doo map and the Adventure Time map, when the walls on the Scooby-Doo map and the trees on the Adventure Time map are up on the sides. She can really get people going. She can get a really good juggle going just because she's used to launch people horizontally across the map and control things that way. And those maps pretty much force you to play horizontally to bring people out. And so, for that reason, again, that's why she's up here. She'd be lower if she wasn't good on those two maps. I feel like she doesn't have a lot of combo moves. It's a lot of heavy hitting moves, but nothing to get you to those heavy hitters. Right? Now, she is a tank, so it is what it is. She has a shield. I feel like the lasso isn't that great, but that's Wonder Woman. Let's do Bugs Bunny. So Bugs Bunny's got to be probably the most neutral character on this list, because I've played trash Bugs Bunnies and I've played broken Bugs Bunnies, but against the ones I've played against, they're pretty good. Right? There's probably 3 characters on this list that I don't like seeing when I have to go up against. Anybody in balanced / medium and below, I'm perfectly fine seeing. I can beat these people. I'm not concerned. Anybody above this, I'm going to have to try pretty hard. All right? Again, depending on the map. But that's Bugs Bunny. He does a lot of this tunneling shit, and depending on who's playing as him, sometimes they'll get you with it. Sometimes they won't. It just depends. He has a lot of, like, the dropping the safe and the TNT missile thing that if you time everything well, you can get good juggles going and force people in situations they don't want to be in. So he's pretty decent, and for the most part, everyone's pretty balanced in this game, but you gotta do a tier list. Let's do Tom and Jerry. So I know Tom and Jerry can be good, because I've seen them be good. I've seen the clips. But I'm going off my experience playing against them or as them for these characters. And so I'm just going to put them in balanced, or maybe bad, because I feel like if they were balanced, I'd see them more, and they're probably a harder character to play, and that's the reason you don't see them often. But I've played against one Tom and Jerry the entire time I've played, so for that reason, they're going to go down in bad. Now, they're better than Steven Universe significant. Like, I put Steven Universe, like, on this end, if I could. But I think the complexity to the character, combined with just his moveset, period, makes it a bad character, right? If it was more accessible to more people, then he'd be here. And because of that, he's going down here. So, let's do some debatable ones. Let's do this lady. Don't know her name, but she's from Steven Universe. I want to say it starts with a G, but it doesn't matter. Broken OP. She juggles me all day. I can't move. I'm just stuck. Just getting juggled and juggled and juggled. She does a little, on horizontal maps, she can juggle you, left or right with her stupid punches and ground pounds. She has horizontal moves. She has frame advantages on a lot of them. She's interruptible on some of them. And just OP. Like, I would guess more than 50% of the time I lose to her. So, that's where I'm putting her. Now we're getting into territory. I think Shaggy is probably the most balanced character, because you can be really good if you play him and you learn his moveset and how he works and how he doesn't work and all that stuff, and he can be really bad. I've seen both, so I think he's probably the perfect character other than Bugs Bunny. I feel like these two are probably the most balanced characters. It's just Bugs Bunny's moveset is a lot less traditional than Shaggy. Shaggy, he has a very, very typical, heavy kick, light kick, uppercut, sweep. Like, his sandwich throw is probably his most unique ability. Bugs Bunny has so many weird and slow moving and fast moving abilities that you have to memorize and recognize the pace for and all of that stuff. That's what puts him above the balanced medium. So, Arya Stark, I really don't have an opinion for. I really haven't played against her enough, and the people I have played against her enough, they're fine. Like, they're not great. Like, just based off of who I've played against, I'd put her here. But from watching those people play as her and the moveset that she has, I can definitely see the potential for her to be up here in one of these two. Right? She has a lot of moves that are great for recovery. She's really good at horizontal from what I've seen. But I'm putting her down here just because I haven't seen enough to make a decision on that. Let's do Harley Quinn. So again, one I haven't played against much, but after I finish one of my other mains, I'm moving over to Harley Quinn as my next main. So I've played with her a bit. I've recognized a combo or two that you can use, and she seems like one of those characters that's very complicated. But if you get good as her, if you recognize the patterns and the moves that chain together well, then you can get very good. And she seems a lot simpler than some of the other ones, right? There's some characters that, like Velma, for instance, has a lot of good moves that do high damage and have long range, but they seem complicated to learn and chain together. And she has the whole evidence thing, and it just seems a lot more complicated than Harley Quinn, right? Harley Quinn's still very good, I think. She's great for getting people out vertically, which is what I prefer, but that's just where I put her. Let's do let's do Jake because that's the only one here that I'm not sure of. So Jake really, I feel like, is a pretty well balanced character. I'm gonna fix my my left to right. So if you haven't watched one of my tier list videos before, the leftmost column, you know, is the best in the category, and the right. So like the way this is set up right now, Iron Giant's the best in the category, and Jake is the worst. I'm not keeping it like that. It's just an example. Realistically, I'd probably put it something like that. Because Jake's pretty good. He has a lot of good moves, like a lot of these higher up characters that are good, and they're also like Bugs Bunny, paced weird, and they're not exactly traditional moves, so they're hard to predict, and you have to learn them and learn the pacing and all of that stuff. But I feel like it doesn't have a lot of heavy hitting moves, right? It's more like stretching, for example, to keep the person from recovering back onto the map. Stuff like that that's good, but not exactly accessible to everyone at every skill level. So that's why I'm putting them here. Now, the last three. These are the fun three because, like Wonder Woman, my three mains: Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and I'm going to Harley Quinn. I'm finishing Wonder Woman right now, then doing Batman, and then going to Harley Quinn. And so, let's do Finn. He's broken. We've seen the combo. Everyone's seen it. I just saw a new one yesterday in the shorts. He just has insane moves where he can just juggle you. I mean, I struggle to get people out below like 120 total health, right? Anything below that, you're pretty much safe with me unless I'm playing Superman. I've seen combos with Jake where 60 health you're getting people out, which is insane. I mean, he just has a lot of moves that string really well together, right? And so that moves us on to the final two. So Batman and Superman, I purposely left these here because other than Wonder Woman, they're probably the two I know the most. So Batman can be incredibly broken on some maps, right? What's interesting about Batman, and I'll just leave him here for a second, is on his own map, the Batcave. It's probably the worst map for Batman, I think. I think Batman works really well with vertical distance, right? Give him the room to get you out vertically, get him close to the roof, and that's it. It's over. He's got you, right? But then give him a lot of room horizontally, and he can play distance. I feel like the Batcave doesn't offer either of those for Batman, which I just find funny. But he's honestly, I think, easy to play, right? He has a decent move set. It's not as good as a lot of the characters that are up here in these higher two tiers, but he's really accessible, so that's why I put him above the average characters. And Superman, yeah, Superman's broken. So I've played against Superman. I've played as Superman. Superman is my highest level. He's broken. I mean, you have what, three unblockables, or not unblockables. Sorry, you have armor in this game. They're not called unblockables. Where you get essentially you have to get hit twice to interrupt the move. So you have three of those that are all super heavy hitting. You can fly. You can throw people just around the map. You can jump up and throw them off the side of the map. You can freeze people and then combo it into one of those heavy hitting armor moves. You can grief people with your laser eyes. I mean, he has it all, right? He's really good. The only reason that I put Finn higher is because Finn has a lot of really good juggling, just hand-to-hand combat moves, and Superman has a lot of really good finishing moves, right? If Superman needs to do damage and get you up to those high numbers that he can take you out, aside from, again, the armor-based, super heavy-hitting, long build-up moves, he really doesn't have anything. He has like 1 or 2 combos that are okay, but they're easy to escape. So that's why I didn't put him at the very top, but he's still very good. He can play both vertically and horizontally. It doesn't really matter. He's just OP for the most part. But that's my list. Guys, let me know which ones you would move. Maybe send me your list down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoy this one, and I'll see you on the next one.